a journey to hear every song ever recorded, and I saw Linkin Park and Grandson on the From Zero Tour 2025. I saw this show so close to my house, and we're going to talk about why that detail is such a big deal, both for me and for Linkin Park. Mike Shinoda was giddy. And without keeping you waiting or in suspense like all those other YouTubers will be doing, I'm going to unshatter the lead right now and say that Linkin Park have not played or even visited South Carolina since the year 2000. And they've never been to Greenville, South Carolina. That's right. It's been 25 years since they came to the state of South Carolina, and the From Zero Tour is the first time they've ever stepped foot in Greenville, South Kakalaki, as we like to call it, ever. As their show 25 years ago was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, which is 5 hours away from here. So for any Linkin Park fan in or near this area, this was the 8th, May the 8th, 2025. It was a very big deal. Usually we have to drive to Atlanta or Charlotte or somewhere in Georgia to see a good rock show, but not May the 8th, 2025, 7:30. Oh boy. May 8th at the Bon Secours Wellness Arena, formerly the Bilo Center. We still call it that after all these years. And my Linkin Park is my 22nd favorite band, and Grandson is my 302nd favorite artist. So let's talk about the show. The prices. I saw tickets for $55, for as low as $55, which would put you somewhere on the planet Neptune, and I wouldn't have been able to check out Johan's sexy face from way back there. So I found a nice little section, kind of at an angle, but pretty close to the stage, for $125 or bucks, or so it said on Ticketmaster, the one and only. Once I clicked on the 125 ticket and declined 8,000 pages of extra fines, fees, ghost fees, phantom fines, gratuities, phantom gratuities, and all sorts of bubbly BS. Just a bunch of bull crap. What the heck's going on here? They got a what the heck's going on here fee. They got a gratuity to no one fee. They got a what the heck's going on here for $20 for no freaking reason fee. But that 125, and I'm going to show you the section that I was in. That 125 ticket cost me $172, even though I declined every additional option that they had because of all of their stupid Ticketmaster fees. The venue is cashless, which is great. They told me not to bring cash, but then I get there and all the parking is cash only, which is very annoying. So a bunch of the places around are $20, $30 for parking. So I had to go to a gas station, Quick Trip, and get my cash money, which is really annoying, so stupid. But getting in, once I got parked, getting in was easy, but I am an early bird and probably still should have gotten there a little bit more than an hour early. Security was a breeze, and now we're in the venue. I did tons of blurry pictures and videos that I'll never look at or watch again, so I might share some of that blurriness with you during this video, so be warned. Grandson, His grandson's performance was a special one as well, as it is his final performance with Linkin Park for the tour as they shift to festivals and overseas shows with some different openers. Now, I did see, because they've performed at least once or twice after my show, and it looks like Grandson is just popping in and doing One Step Closer with them, even though he's not like their opener now. So that's pretty cool. So he's pretty tight with Linkin Park. Grandson asked the crowd how many people had ever heard of him, and almost nobody had. It was like, you guys don't know what's going on, I don't know what's going on. It was kind of cool for him to acknowledge this. I am familiar with his work, but he's kind of hard for me to rank because I rank artists based on how many songs off their albums I like, and Grandson is kind of on that future of the music industry trip where he mostly puts out singles and EPs. So his discography is a little bit messy for my OCD. I said it right. I always want to say AC/DC for some reason when I'm trying to say OCDC. I can't say OCD. I can only say OCDC. My favorite Grandson song is Riptide, and he didn't play it. He didn't play the one that I wanted to hear, but I was extremely happy with his set nonetheless. Grandson powered through a gnarly 10-song set, with one song being a Bob Dylan cover, Masters of War. And I've just got to talk about the sound. I know depending on who someone is opening for, they may tweak their sound or alter some things to suit the audience better. I don't know if that's what Grandson is doing because I've never seen him live before, but he has this touring band. He's doing lead vocals, and then there's this trio, this guitar, bass, and drums trio, who I can't find any info on. If you know who they are, please leave me a comment and explain, because this three-piece band backing Grandson, whoa. On his own, and on the recorded tracks that I've heard by Grandson sounds like kind of a nasally Eminem with not as many obscenities in his pocket, and the music is generally kind of a blend of pop, hip-hop, and some electric guitar out of the alternative sphere. But this band that Grandson has, they brought the fire down upon the Linkin Park fandom who had never heard of them. Never heard of Grandson, and from what I could see, everyone was impressed, if not flat out blown away. They went harder than Linkin Park with the heavy metal shreddage and even Grandson's vocals, which are usually more toned down in his songs. He was screaming on par with Emily Armstrong. I know Grandson has done some projects with Mike Shinoda before, so I'm wondering if at some point maybe he was in the running for joining Linkin Park. Probably not, but a possibility. Grandson really brought the fire, and doing so at such a monumental gig, he's going to get some new fans from this. I didn't hear Rip Tide, I've been letting this shit slide, which you should definitely check out after watching this video. But gosh darn, man, even though I couldn't sing along to any of the 10 songs because I wasn't super familiar with them, it was an epic performance, and you can tell that he really tried and succeeded to win over every Linkin Park fan in the house. I've been a fan of his for a while, but now the show made me go back and listen to some of his music and appreciate it even more. And that's what a freaking concert is supposed to do. Like, supposed to grab you and say, hey, you need to listen to my music and also check out Bob Dylan. Now we got to talk about the headliners. This new band called Linkin Park. You've probably never heard of them either. But the light show slash hologram show alone is worth the price of admission. You get overflowing oceans spilling towards you. You get lasers blasting over your head. You can tell that a ton of my $200 that I spent went towards the stage setup and the lasers. Maybe too much. During the show, I kept wondering, would this still be a great show without the $1 trillion seizure machine that the band have going on? Like, imagine if Linkin Park came out, like, imagine if they were back in the day, like the 50s or 60s, and they were just standing on the stage performing. Would it still be a good show? And the answer is yes. Yes. Emily, Mike, Joe, Dave, Colin, Alex, I think they could command this same size crowd without the flashy gizmos if they needed to. But the flashy gizmos, it definitely enhances the experience. This is a new chapter in Linkin Park, as Mike has said, and he said during the show more than once. I kept wondering if they would mention Chester during the show. There's been a lot of discussion about Chester and Emily and whether Linkin Park should be called Linkin Park. But honestly, I'm totally okay with the fact that Chester was not mentioned during this show that I was at. The band have been on the road with Emily for a while. She's not getting choked up during Waiting for the End anymore, which makes these moments earlier where she was getting choked up, it makes them feel more authentic. And the band has moved on, in a sense. They aren't erasing anyone from history, but it is important to live for today and not keep dwelling on what could have been such a sad part of the band's career, or what was such a devastating part of the band's career. Everyone in the show is at the top of their game and field on stage. Emily's pulling off screams while also putting a lot of physical exertion into the mix. Her and Mike are both playing guitar, which is really interesting to witness. I have grainy, blurry footage right here. Why the show is unique. Sweet Caroline cuts the bridge, and we run into the From Zero countdown. I know that they use a different song each time. I saw that they used the Thong song at some other show. That was pretty cool. But South Carolina, South Kakalaki peoples, everybody, all the moms of the younger teenagers, they were singing along to Sweet Caroline. And it was just a good time. Just was like, oh, do. Emily, Colin, and Alex fit right into the band. And remember when I said that Greenville, South Carolina was a first for Linkin Park? Linkin Park From Zero Tour may be a big, meticulously planned out event, but the audibles, and I think Linkin Park typically have around maybe 6 audibles, between 3 and 6 audibles. But the audibles, the freestyles, the introductions played from tapes that break up the set into 3 acts, and then the encore, they switch these up every night. Yeah, I know every night's a little bit different, But the one that we got in Greenville, South Carolina, it was pretty epic and pretty significantly different. Act 1, we got Inception Intro C with elements of Burn It Down in the mix. I think they do Castle of Glass and another like variety of songs for those. Also in Act 1, during New Divide, we get the unique shortened Moscow intro. I'm usually anti-intro and interlude, but Linkin Park are doing it right in their concert setting, and it was just epic. Act 2, after that hit-filled Act 1, we get Creation Intro C with elements of Burn It Down and some very interesting stuff going on during Act 2, as well as the entire show. Emily rips her red guitar up on Up From the Bottom before the band covers Fort Miners, Where'd You Go? I Miss You So. And I have video.
Some days I feel like shit, some days I wanna quit, just be normal for a bit. I don't understand why you have to always be gone. I get along, but the trips always feel so long. I find myself trying to stay like a phone, cause your voice always helps me and I feel so alone and I feel like an idiot. Working my day around the call, when I pick up I don't have much to say, so I want you to know it's a little fucked up that I'm stuck here waiting. At times debating telling you I've had it with you in your career.
Waiting for the end is where Emily keeps her. Waiting for the end, where Emily keeps her composure, is massacred in a good way, with an extended 2024 synthesizer intro. And before Joe Hahn's solo, but it's not really solo because Colin joins him, they play a little ditty, not about Jack and Diane, but about toothpaste. Toothpaste, caught in the middle, toothpaste. Empty Spaces separates us into the next section, but not act of the show, as Mike takes on When They Come For Me and Remember the Name, hopping into the crowd and determining which freestyle he wants to do in Greenville, South Carolina. He decides on Step Up, an extremely deep cut from the Hybrid Theory EP, and just seeing him jump into the crowd and give a little kid a Linkin Park hat, it was really a really wild part of the show, and I've definitely been getting into Step Up from the Hybrid Theory EP. Now we got the What the F section. I don't know why I called it that, but that's where we're at. Get this. We got to hear a song that only one other crowd has seen performed by Linkin Park ever. Linkin Park usually do Keys to the Kingdom during the audible right after Mike's freestyle. One of the moments where Linkin Park can kind of go a little goofy, a little bit nuts. And they performed I Gave You Everything I Have. I thought it was had, but it's have. I'm kind of annoyed that I've been singing it wrong this whole time, but I am an idiot. So, I had, or internal Gutbusters Yucking Evil Igor Horns. I thought it was that for a while. Whatever it stands for. Emily vaporizes the entire solar system during this performance, and now I can't stop revisiting Step Up. Like I said, just an incredible part of the night. And Grandson comes back out and joins them for One Step Closer, the first of many moments, and the only other band I've seen do this, where it gets to a point in the show where you feel like every song is the epic the epic last song. Green Day do this, where it's like, boom, basket case, boom, she, boom. And you think every song has to be the very last song. Linkin Park do that. Like, okay, this is the end of the show. Nope, you were so totally wrong. I know your bedtime was an hour ago, but you got a long way to go. We got Act 3. We get break/collapse, and then a hybrid version of Lost. Part piano and Mike and Emily. And then the entire band, the entire 6-piece Linkin Park explodes and blows your mind. Cut! This is not a jab, but it is kind of funny when like the camera cuts on the big screens, where it cuts to Joe Hahn and he's not doing anything. He's just doing nothing. Or he's like pressing a button like this. He's like, do. And he looks kind of bored. Like, imagine making $25 million and just kind of chilling on the stage. Just like he's just like standing there. Like, I mean, I know. He writes, he produces, he directs, he sketches. He's a huge part of Linkin Park. We're just not being so precious about lineups these days. That's all I'm saying. I love you, Joe Hahn. Hawk 2 or Han 2. Good Things Go is my favorite song from Zero. So I was one of the only people singing along to that one. Everybody else sat down during that section of the show. Whack! Whack! You guys are all whack. Now we're into Act 4. We get a ton of new songs, which is a bold move. So many bands keep playing the old hits, but Linkin Park are pushing from Zero songs, and that is awesome. Overflow has an extended teasing introduction with Enjoy the Silence by Depeche Mode getting put into the mix. And now I got to go listen to the entire catalog of Depeche Mode. Thank you, Linkin Park. I'd almost heard every song ever, but now I got to go listen to Depeche Mode's. That's what makes rock music great. You hear a sample or a cover or a scratch of something, and then you go discover the entire catalog of Depeche Mode because of Linkin Park. An artist you've never heard before. Like, I'm getting into Depeche Mode and Bob Dylan because of this show. So thanks, grandson. Thanks, Linkin Park. Numb/Encore introduction. It kicks things off to Numb. And how can anybody sing that song? There's no time to breathe. It's insanity. And another song that I could not believe I was seeing live. In 2025. Faint has an extended outroduction to Faint. That is really amazing. And then we get the worn out act of a band leaving the stage, demanding we clap for them before they return. Encore. Yep, do the encore. A few people actually left during this part, as they do. But hey, if you left at that point, you could have stayed. The traffic wasn't that bad. if you stayed till the very end. Just turn right instead of left, and you would have been home in no time. That's what I did. 13 minutes flat. I was back in the casa, baby. The castle. This is not a castle of glass, though. I think I've got some like wood and rugs and stuff. CDs and vinyl. Numb, the end, in the end. So numb is huge. In the end, that has to be the last song, right? Right? The end has to be the final Linkin Park song. I'm starting to get sleepy. It's like almost 11 o'clock at night. Nope, there's an encore. Oh God, I'm getting really tired at this point in the show. It's almost 11 p.m. No human can stay up till 11 p.m. That's so late. But Linkin Park, they just come back out and they keep on playing. But haven't they played all the big songs yet? All the big ones? What can follow up? In the End and Faint. Resolution Intro C with elements of Burn It Down. And then they rip into Paper Cut. Oh yeah, I forgot that one. Paper Cut's a big one. Yep, that's the big finale. Oh, they're still playing. It's alright. I'm old because I was born in 1985. I'm not as old as the guys and gals in Linkin Park, though. Gosh dang. I'm about the same age as Emily. Me and her, about the same age. But then they top Paper Cut with Points of Authority. And this is the very first time that Points of Authority is done for the Encore. So this is a big change in the set list. Thank you, Setlist.fm. I think usually Points of Authority is like early in the show. It's like one of the first songs they play. So we've got a very beefed up encore due to this. So that's very awesome. Oh God, but they're still playing. They've played 18 freaking hits, but they just won't leave. I'm so tired. I got 13 minutes. I got a 13-minute drive home if the traffic's good. They rip into Heavy as the Crown, a new song, so late in the night, so late in the set list. That's just really cool. Emily does a shorter but still extremely aggressive scream. I think I've got a clip of it. Truly one for the history books. But what can top that? They're still freaking playing. They're still on the stage. I don't even... Here we go for the 100th time. Hand grenade pins in every line. Throw them up and let something shine. Filthy mouth, no excuse. If you count all the freestyles, the outros, the intros, the recorded music, Linkin Park pack around 44 songs into this set list. A triumph from a band that is overflowed. If you're interested in seeing this epic show with lasers, holograms, 20 hits, 7 deep cuts, and positive vibes vibrating off of every band member in sexy fashion. Your opening act might be different from mine, but I can almost guarantee that you'll have a great night.